Well, the internet is going wild after years in the spotlight.
Melania Barron Trump has recently attracted considerable media attention, largely due to his family's high profile and the public's keen interest in their lives. As the youngest son of former President Donald Trump and Melania Trump, he often finds himself under the microscope. Barron Trump. This is the first time Barron Trump has always been in the public eye for his accomplishments, whether it's helping his father win a second term or getting into NYU's business school on merit. But recently, the world heard his real voice for the first time since childhood. While Donald's older children Ivanka, Donald Trump Jr., Eric, and Tiffany took a more hands-on role in their father's presidency, Barron's privacy was heavily guarded. This led him to be one of the more private members of the family. But Barron has finally broken his silence, and what he said will shock you. "I'm in the business. It's very nice to see you, very nice." Barron Trump's private lifestyle. Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron, grew up in the White House, but he's mostly lived outside of the spotlight. Shortly after Donald tied the knot with his wife, Melania Trump and Tay, the couple learned they were expecting a baby. Barron was born on March 20th, 2006, becoming Donald's fifth child and Melania's first. Barron spent most of his childhood at his family's lavish penthouse in New York City while attending prestigious private schools on Manhattan's Upper West Side. When Donald was first elected president and began his term in January 2017, Barron and Melania stayed behind in Manhattan so that he could finish the school year. That summer, he enrolled at St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland and officially moved into the White House with the rest of the family. While Donald's older children Ivanka, Donald Trump Jr., Eric, and Tiffany took a more hands-on role in their father's presidency, Barron's privacy was heavily guarded. After graduating from high school in May 2024, Barron enrolled at New York University in September. A source told People earlier in the year that Melania was keeping her son close as he pondered his future plans. Melania will keep her hand on Barron's future just as much going forward as she has throughout his early and current school years, the insider said. He is her world. She is proud of him, and she is the primary decision-maker on Barron and his future. Amid his father's 2024 presidential campaign, Barron continued to largely stay out of the spotlight. He declined an opportunity to serve as an at-large delegate for Florida at the Republican National Convention, citing prior commitments in a statement made by his mother. Though he did attend his first campaign rally in support of his father in July, after Donald defeated Vice President Kamala Harris to win the presidential election, Barron also appeared on stage for his father's victory speech, during which the president-elect expressed his gratitude for his children. In 2005, Donald and Melania discovered they were expecting their first child together about 6 months after their wedding. While looking back on the moment she told Donald she was pregnant, Melania admitted her husband was a bit taken aback by the news. "He came home one day last August and I told him he'd be a daddy. And his reaction was at first he needed to take it in. It was a real surprise, and then he was very happy," she shared with People. Donald added, "I expected we were going to have children. I wasn't totally surprised, but I was surprised by the speed of it. It happened very quickly." Melania gave birth to Barron on March 20th, 2006. Donald chose not to be present in the delivery room, explaining he thought it would be easier for Melania if he wasn't there. Melania later said that her 8-hour labor was, in fact, very, very easy. "Everyone's perfect. She's really happy, and it's really great," Donald told People following the birth. Donald was the one to choose Barron's name, as he had always liked it but hadn't had the chance to use it for his other sons. Melania was on board, but at the last minute, Donald had second thoughts about the name. "It's a name I've always loved, but I never had the courage to use. I gave the idea to Melania, and then I was going to take it away at the very end, and she said, 'You can't take it away. I've been calling him Barron while he's been in my stomach, and you just can't take it away,'" Donald said on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Growing up, Barron attended numerous prestigious schools while living in New York City. He was enrolled at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School on Manhattan's Upper West Side. After Donald began his presidential term in January 2017, Barron remained in NYC, finishing out the school year. During Barron's final year at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, he took his entire 5th grade class on a trip to Washington. A group of about 80 students joined Barron, along with teachers and Secret Service agents, on an excursion to the White House, where they met Barron's father. The group also toured the nation's capital and stayed overnight at a hotel before returning home. Then, in May 2017, it was announced that Barron would be attending St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Potomac, Maryland. Tuition at St. Andrew's cost the Trumps about $40,000 a year. Barron's enrollment marked a departure from the precedent set by previous first families, including the Obamas, Bushes, and Clintons, who sent their children to Sidwell Friends, a private Quaker school located in D.C. and Bethesda, Maryland. Following the end of Donald's presidential term in 2021, it was revealed that Barron would be attending the Oxbridge Academy in Palm Beach, Florida, where he graduated with the class of 2024. When Donald was first elected president, he shared that Barron was hesitant about leaving his life in NYC and moving into the White House. He explained that the then 9-year-old loved New York and his school, and the move was a whole change of life. Donald said, "He has a very good school in New York where he has a lot of friends, but I tell him if this happens, Daddy will help people and can help children like him, and that makes him happy." Well, Barron's terrific. He's a great boy. He's working hard. He's starting the school thing, the beginning of the process. He's a young boy who is 9 years old, and he is strong and smart, and he gets it. He sees it. While his father was in office, Barron faced attacks online. The former first daughter, Chelsea Clinton, came to his defense amid the online bullying. Chelsea tweeted on several occasions, asking others to give Barron the chance to grow up without so much criticism. "It's high time the media and everyone leave Barron Trump alone and let him have the private childhood he deserves," Clinton wrote in response to a negative article about Barron. Jenna Bush Hager, another former first daughter, also spoke out about how the attacks on Barron made her mad, because the truth is, obviously, Barron Trump didn't ask his dad to run for president. It wasn't his decision. Barron is bilingual and can speak both English and Melania's native Slovenian. As a little boy, Melania says Barron often called his grandmother and spoke to her exclusively in Slovenian. While Melania was a proponent of Barron speaking multiple languages, she noted that she was on the same page as her husband as to what language Barron should be using in public. "My opinion is that the more languages you speak, the better it is, but when you come to America, you speak English," she told people. Throughout Melania's career as a model, she was known to keep to herself. Even during her time as First Lady, she primarily spent time with her family instead of friends. After Donald left office in 2021, sources told people that Melania remained very private and kept a close eye on Barron. "Melania's friends are her family members," a source shared. In 2023, many Mar-a-Lago club members and others know and see Melania, but they aren't friends. They don't get together and gab or socialize. She has always surrounded herself with family. She is a doting mother to Barron and very protective of him. This is nothing new. The insider added that Melania's parents, who moved to the Trump family property in Mar-a-Lago, were close to Barron and instrumental in his rearing. Melania's mother, Amalia Naves, died in January 2024. In March 2024, a social and political source told people that Melania's main job is taking care of Barron. Barron is shy and reserved, and she has been a good mother to him all of these years, the source said, adding, "Melania is all about Barron and her family. She has always been family-oriented, and in addition to some of the charity work she has done, staying ahead of family issues is her priority." According to comments Donald made while speaking at his presidential campaign headquarters in Des Moines, Iowa, in January 2024, his teenage son is already towering over him at 6 feet 7 inches. He attributes Barron's height to him eating all of the food that his late grandmother, Melania's mother, Amalia Naves, would make for him. The Daily Mail reported that Donald called Barron a special boy during his speech, adding, "I said, 'You're going to be a basketball player.' He said, 'Well, I like soccer, Dad. Actually, I thought at your height, I like basketball better, but you can't talk them into everything.'" Barron joined his dad on the campaign trail in July 2024 while in Doral, Florida. Donald noted from the podium that it was his son's first ever rally. "You're pretty popular. He might be more popular than Don and Eric," he said. "So, Barron, it's good to have you. He's had such a nice, easy life. Now it's a little bit changed." In September 2024, NYU security officers confirmed to people that Barron had arrived at the Manhattan College. He was spotted outside of the library along with Secret Service agents. In an interview with Fox News that same month, Melania said that it had been Barron's idea to go to school in New York and live in the family's tower in Manhattan. It was his decision to come here, that he wants to be in New York and study in New York and live in his home, and I respect that, she said. She went on to call her son an incredible young man, adding, "I'm very proud of what he grew up to, his strength, his intelligence, his knowledge, his kindness. It's admirable." In December 2024, a source told People that Barron is popular with the ladies on campus. He's tall and handsome. A lot of people seem to think he's pretty attractive. Yes, even liberal people like him. With how sheltered a life Barron Trump has led, it's no surprise that he has grown up to be quiet and reserved. In fact, Donald Trump's youngest son is so quiet that the first clip of him speaking had immediately gone viral. Barron Trump's voice reveal for the first time. A viral clip from the documentary series Art of the Surge showed 18-year-old Barron Trump speaking in public for the first time. "Hello, how are you? It's very nice to see you," he said while shaking a woman's hand. He then turned his attention to Dana White, offering him a handshake as well. "Hello, how are you? It's very nice to finally meet you," the incoming first son said. "Very nice. Good to see you too, buddy." No, make the president-elect surprised the two hadn't met before, jokingly asked White, "Can we make him into a fighter?" While everyone laughed around, Trump in the video pointed out how famous Barron is among the young supporters. "I gave him a shout-out last night, and the place went crazy. Barron, the president-elect proudly said, probably referring to his son's role during the presidential campaign. Commenting on the video, one user said, "Like father, like son." A second praised Melania for Barron's proper upbringing, stating, "Melania did a perfect job, keeping him away from the spotlight and raising a gentleman. His words speak volumes." A third user remarked, "Sounds like a future president to me." A fourth chimed in, "Sounds like Timothy Chalamet." Another person said, comparing Barron's voice to the Hollywood actors. "Barron is such a gentleman," one more commented. Many had praised Barron Trump's calm and polite nature, with one user remarking, "What a nice, well-mannered young man." Another echoed similar sentiments, saying, "Barron is so polite." The surprise of hearing his voice for the first time was a recurring theme. "The voice of Barron," exclaimed one user, while another wrote, "That's the first time I've ever heard him speak." Some noted the resemblance to his father, Donald Trump, with comments like, "Barron sounds so much like his father," and "OMG, Barron's voice sounds like his dad." Several users were impressed by his maturity and presence, describing him as a young man of potential. "First time I've heard Barron speak. Dude is going to go far with how he was raised," said one, while another added, "Barron has an air of quiet confidence about him. Wonder if he'll want to enter politics someday." Others reflected on Barron's evolution over the years, with one noting, "Barron has really come a long way in 8 years. I remember the 2016 election night and inauguration. Now he's a young man. He's well reserved and intelligent." The reactions also carried a sense of admiration for his upbringing. "You can tell they raised him well," read one comment, while another described him as soft-spoken but firm, quite the presence. The viral moment has clearly captured the imagination of social media, with one user summarizing the general sentiment. "After all these years, we finally get to hear Barron speak." During his second presidential campaign, Donald Trump shifted focus to podcasts and social media, prioritizing them over legacy media, a move that helped him connect with younger voters. Much of this shift is credited to his son Barron, who played a crucial role in arranging these podcast appearances and suggesting strategies that were widely praised by MAGA campaign advisors as well. Trump himself acknowledged Barron's influence, noting how he encouraged him to venture into alternative media like the hugely popular Joe Rogan podcast. Trump's appearances on shows like Joe Rogan Experience, This Past Weekend with Theo Vaughn, Flagrant with Andrew Schultz, and PBD Podcast with Patrick Bet-David have garnered millions of views, boosting his reach to a younger audience. While Barron maintained a low profile during the campaign, Donald Trump revealed that his son played a significant role behind the scenes. Barron reportedly encouraged his father to engage with podcast platforms, leading to appearances on popular podcasts such as the Joe Rogan Experience, Flagrant with Andrew Schultz, and the PBD Podcast. These interviews garnered millions of views and helped Trump connect with younger audiences. During an interview with Fox News on Friday, Melania said she was proud of her son for giving the president-elect advice for his campaign behind the scenes. He knows his generation, she said. Barron is the youngest child of President-elect Donald and his only child with his wife Melania. He's currently a freshman at New York University, and while he may be quiet publicly, his presence is hard to ignore as he quite literally towers over his father, who is said to be 6 feet 3 inches. Another thing the internet is fascinated by. The recent clip of him only adds to the online obsession with his elusiveness. As clips of him as a child have resurfaced, one clip in particular shows him at 4 years old in an interview with his parents and Larry King. In those clips, little Barron tells King, "I like my suitcase," in what sounds like a Slovenian accent similar to his mother's. I like my suitcase. The audio was remixed and used across TikTok over 100,000 times, with videos of people holding or rolling their suitcases, including celebrities like Paris Hilton. Barron Trump speaks up. It's not just Donald Trump who gushes over his son's handsome personality and sharp mind. Barron Trump's humility speaks for itself. When asked to describe his life, the youngest Trump offered a modest four-word response that left quite an impression. Patrick Bet-David, who recently met Barron at a private dinner, complimented him after their encounter, revealing how the young heir of a billion-dollar fortune stands out from the crowd of other celebrity kids. While Barron Trump may appear to be especially close to his mother Melania, who is spending considerable time supporting him as he begins his university life at NYU, even if it means stepping back from Donald Trump's 2024 campaign, he is also a fan of his father. Barron firmly believes that none of his siblings, including himself, could ever match their father's achievements. Yesterday, we were with Barron Trump, Patrick Bet-David shared, at the Sales Leadership Summit 2024. He continued quoting Barron, "Look, no matter what I do, no matter what my brothers do, no matter how much money we make, our success will never come close to what our father had to do because he really had the hard life." Bet-David, who was recording a podcast at the time, was impressed by Barron's humility. But then something that Barron said left such an impression on the conservative pundit that he ended up calling him a stud. Barron Trump described his father Donald Trump's life as hard, contrasting it with his own. "Not us. We had an easy life," the 18-year-old remarked, leaving Patrick Bet-David impressed by his maturity. "He's a freaking stud of a kid to say something like that, right?" the conservative political pundit said, reflecting on the moment. Bet-David also shared an anecdote about Barron's kindness. "He stays there and walks us out saying, 'Let me walk you to your car,'" he added. The son of a billionaire president offering to walk us to our car. He's working customer service. Barron didn't stop there. He stood by until they were safely in their car and had left. Barron comes out, and we go sit down and have dinner with Barron. Now you got to realize, I'm so curious. Donald Trump began his final day of campaign rallies by declaring that he would win if his MAGA supporters turned out to vote. However, he also acknowledged that his raspy voice is a problem and once more defended his speaking style, which he dubs the weave. Addressing a North Carolina crowd, he said, "There's nothing they can do if we get our vote." Trump spoke for 90 minutes in spite of the time constraints, touching on a wide range of topics before revealing some family-friendly advice he received ahead of the election. At the end of his speech, Daily Mail reported, "Ivanka called me a little while ago. She sends her love to everybody. She's terrific," he said about his daughter, who once worked as his advisor but has not been with him on the 2024 campaign trail. Trump then talked about his youngest and only son with Melania Trump, stating, "And I have a guy who's home with the First Lady." He called Barron, who is 18 years old and recently joined NYU, very smart and who gives him good advice. "Dad, take it easy now. You just take it easy, Dad. All right? You don't have to go too much here. He gives me good. He's very wise," the former president stated. Trump has been expressing hope, but he has also acknowledged the risk of failure on occasion. "Hopefully everything will work out well. We're way leading. All we have to do is close it up," he stated, as several polls have indicated a neck-to-neck race. What Barron Trump's future could look like. While it is too early to predict Barron Trump's future, his interests and upbringing suggest that he may pursue a career that aligns with his passions. Whether he chooses to follow in his father's footsteps in business or carve out his own path in technology or sports, the world will be watching. As he continues to grow and develop, it will be fascinating to see how he uses his unique experiences to shape his future. Barron's relationship with his family is often characterized by support and love. Despite the challenges that come with being a part of such a prominent family, Barron shares a close bond with both of his parents. Melania Trump, in particular, has been an influential figure in his life, teaching him the importance of kindness and respect. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has instilled in him a strong work ethic and determination. Barron also has a close relationship with his older siblings, who have all expressed their affection for him publicly. As Barron Trump grows into adulthood, the expectations surrounding him will likely shift. While he has the potential to follow in his family's footsteps into the world of business and politics, he may also choose to forge his own path. With the support of his family and the experiences he has garnered from being in the public eye, Barron's future is bound to be intriguing. Whether he embraces the spotlight or seeks a quieter life away from the cameras, one thing is certain: the world will continue to be fascinated by Barron Trump. What do you think about Barron Trump's bright future? Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to let us know what you think.